Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today is an extremely exciting day for me. In fact, I really am having a hard time containing my excitement because it is the first new PNSO release that I have gotten on this channel in a very long time. Not to mention it is the first new PNSO release that we've really gotten from them for a long time. We were very concerned about their existence, and there were a lot of claims going around stating that PNSO was closing and they had stopped updating their Facebook and everything for a long period of time there. So there was a lot of concern over the potential future of the company and whether or not we would ever get anything else from them. But luckily, a few months ago, they started to re-update their Facebook. All kinds of new information started coming out and flowing from PNSO, and it looks as though they are completely back in full swing as they have now released a line of, as you can see, dinosaur busts. But at the same time they are dinosaur busts, they are also bookends. So you can put the books over here on this side, and then you can get the same dinosaur bust that you see here, or you can get a different one and put on the other side to hold your books up. And trust me when I tell you, these things are very heavy and would do a fantastic job doing just that. But regardless, PNSO is easily, without question, no doubt whatsoever, one of my favorite companies out there. They have been for a very long time. They will probably continue to be in the future. And if this is the quality we can expect from PNSO, which I really wouldn't expect any less because they are absolutely fantastic, but if this is what we can expect from PNSO in the future, they have a very bright future. And trust me when I tell you, we will be getting a lot of very, very cool dinosaur models and collectibles in the future from them. But this, like I said, this is one of their newest products. In fact, I believe they only just started to really put these up for sale maybe about 2 weeks ago, a week or two ago, somewhere in that area. And they're that new that they just literally have just come out. And this is one of like 6 or 7 new dinosaur busts. I can't recall off the top of my head just how many they have out, but I will show you all of them in their promotional pictures here in a little bit. But regardless, this is the one that I now own, and it is Nick the Ceratosaurus, which I'm sure, looking at the head with those very distinctive horn-type crests that it has there, you could have easily been able to tell that it is in fact a Ceratosaurus. And Ceratosaurus is one of my favorite dinosaurs of all time. I absolutely love that species just because it is a carnivore, and I am of course a big carnivore guy, as most people are. But it is so unique and so distinctive with the way it looks because of those crests on its head and the entire body shape that it has, that I've always been really drawn to that dinosaur. So for them to be able to put out a Ceratosaurus so quickly with this line of amazing dinosaur busts, I was super excited, and even more excited to own this Ceratosaurus. They also actually have a Carnotaurus out, and anybody that knows me knows that Carnotaurus is my favorite dinosaur, so I will be looking to get that one in the very near future as well. But anyway, let's get a closer look at Nick the Ceratosaurus. Now, as I said, this is very heavy. It's quite massive, the overall appearance of it. I mean, the head itself, you can see here by my thumb, isn't super huge, but it's definitely a really nice size, an absolutely beautiful size. But as far as detail and sculpt work goes, you will not find any better than PNSO because they are just incredible. I absolutely love the way these teeth are sculpted out here on the side. Those nice, very large Ceratosaurus teeth. They look absolutely fantastic. So the overall sculpting of them is really nice, and the majority of this, the paint job on this, you can see it's not actually painted up like it would look in real life. It's got kind of a brass type of a look to it, and I love the fact that they've really made sure that the teeth were brass colored, and it really, really stands out, makes the teeth just look beautiful and really pop when it comes to the overall appearance of the head sculpt here. You can see, taking a look up here, the nicely sculpted nostrils that look fantastic as well. The overall sculpt of this head is beautiful. You've got some really nice looking and very realistic looking hanging skin here from the underside of the neck. You can see just how really nice and beautiful the sculpt work is on that. And then coming up here into the palate area, you can see that the palate is very nicely sculpted. And then we get up into the actual horn-like crests on the top, and just look at the incredible amount of detail that is sculpted into those. It really looks beautiful. Coming back here into the eye, you can see the eye sculpt, and all the detail around it is really, really nicely done. And of course the eye has been given that beautiful brass coloration as well, so that the eye also really pops when you take a look at it. So that is also really nicely done. And all the detail, as I mentioned, around the eye leading to the back of the head just looks fantastic. Coming down into the lower jaw, and you can see all the beautiful detail all over the lower jaw as well. And then we go to the top of the head, and you can see that these little bumps start to appear, and it turns into these basically like these little spikes that run the length of the back of the dinosaur. But of course they end here as it's only a bust. But they also have very nice detail and sculpt work to them. Pretty much the same deal as the crest and everything, where you can see that in very, very nice sculpt work. And the overall sculpting of the scales and everything also looks really fantastic. This just looks incredible from anywhere that you look at it. Beautiful front shot there. And then looking at the opposing side, it's exactly the same deal as the other side, just as beautiful, just as magnificent. In my opinion, these things are just really, really beautifully done. And they're not just dinosaur busts, in my opinion. This is an absolute work of art, and it is art at its finest. The overall appearance of this is just even miles ahead of what I was expecting as far as how beautiful it would look. It's really, really breathtaking in person, and I am just super excited to own this. And then if you take a look at the back, you can see it says here, dedicated to people who are willing to trust others. And then it says PNSO, of course, the scientific art sculptures. And then it tells you the people who have sculpted it, which I do not even want to try to pronounce the names because I don't want to completely butcher them. And it says it is the desktop series Nick the Ceratosaurus 1/10 scale head portrait. And then of course gives you the information on the image creator and sculpture creator right there. And then of course if you flip it over, it has this really beautiful soft underside so that you don't scuff up any of your tables or bookshelves or whatever you put it on. And it's also protecting the actual model itself. And you can see there, it also says PNSO on the bottom there. So as I mentioned, just taking a look at the overall appearance of it, it is so beautiful. It really is. Just look at the nice curvatures here in the base. I really love the way that looks. And that beautiful PNSO logo right there at the bottom just really sets the overall appearance for it. This thing is just, like I said, it is art. It is art at its finest, and it is beautiful. Everything about this is just so high quality and so insanely nice. Like I mentioned numerous times, it is very, very heavy. It is incredibly sturdy. You can see I'm pretty much shaking the entire camera as I do that because this thing is just so heavy, but it is just absolutely beautifully done. The detail and sculpt on it is incredible. I love the way that it appears with the brass type of a look to it. Honestly, these things must be so expensive to make. It's just absolutely baffling to me, the price on these, and a lot of people that are into common collectibles like Papo and Safari and stuff, it's probably a little out of your price range, but at $79.99, in my opinion, with free shipping, this is a steal, because I've been buying dinosaur sculptures and things of that nature for a very, very long time now, and I can say with complete honesty that for something that is this high quality, beautiful looking, and very heavy, it is just an absolute work of art. For that price, that is beyond worth it, and without question, an absolute steal for this beautiful piece. Not to mention, the box is also really quite large. You can see that the box says dedicated to people who are willing to trust others there. Then here on the side, PNSO. If we look here, we've got some more PNSO information and information in general on the actual figure, stating again that it is Nick the Ceratosaurus and it is a 1/10 scale head portrait. Once again, PNSO on the side, and then the same thing on the back. But it is a really, really pretty big box. You can see by my comprehend there that the box overall is really quite large, and the inside is very, very well protected, so it will get to you with complete safety, and there is just pretty much no way that it could possibly be damaged in transit. The box itself is very, very sturdy as well, and then again, you can see just how much protective padding there is in here for it. That is just thick beyond belief right there. But when you actually open the box, you can see that you get this. There's a little envelope that has some wonderful stuff inside, so let's open it and take a look. So we slide the contents out, and you can see that this side here is just completely in Chinese, but if you flip it around, there you go, you've got the English version. I'm not going to read the entire thing to you, that would be up to you if you purchase it, but again, there are more cards to it with all sorts of information and things to read on here. And then this one has a very, very nice shot of the actual sculpture that you got here. And then this is a beautiful shot of Nick the Ceratosaurus alive and in person in all of his glory, and it looks fantastic. I believe this artwork was also done by the same guy who sculpts all of the PNSO figures, and he is an absolutely incredible artist, not only when it comes to creating dinosaur models and sculptures like this Ceratosaurus bust, but also in general. He's a beautiful paleo artist, and it really shines through with this really nice card. The other species that you get with these bookend sculptures of these dinosaur busts, the first one I absolutely have no idea how to pronounce. It is Qianzhousaurus or something along those lines. I've honestly never heard of this species before, but it overall looks really, really cool. It's got kind of a feathery look to it, so I'm really quite intrigued to learn more about this species, and will definitely be looking it up after this video is done. His name is, and again, I may not get it correctly, but it's Ashu or Ashu, something along those lines. I am absolutely terrible at pronouncing Chinese names, I'm sure, but that's, again, what I think the name may be. Then there is, of course, the Carnotaurus, which I was just speaking of previously, and it is just as beautiful, in my opinion, as this Ceratosaurus. It really looks nice, and I really, really want to get my hands on this one as well. I also love, if you look here, that the coloration on the actual base or bookend part of the Carnotaurus is different, so there are differences in general between these different dinosaur bookends besides the actual species and sculpt and all, but the Carnotaurus' name is Domingo the Carnotaurus, and he looks just beyond beautiful. Then there is also a Yangchuanosaurus, and his name is Deyong the Yangchuanosaurus, and again, just beyond beautiful. It really, really, really looks nice. I think all of these are just fantastic. I really hope that all these species that they are creating for these dinosaur busts get individual model releases at some point, because oh man, I can't even begin to tell you how excited I would be for that. Then of course we have two very famous PNSO dinosaurs, as we have Doyle the Triceratops, who we have had a model of previously, and I really love this. I think it looks fantastic. Another really, really nice dinosaur bust. And then we of course have Wilson the Tyrannosaurus Rex, who has also had his own individual model, and who also looks absolutely beautiful in this dinosaur bust. So those are the species that they have released currently. I'm not sure if they'll be releasing more in the future, but I think that there's probably a very good chance of it, and I would be excited to see any more of these at some point. As far as a size goes, for the length of the Ceratosaurus head, you are looking at about 5 inches or 13 centimeters. For the overall height, which we will go to the tip of the horn on the nose, you are looking at about 7 inches, or about just under, no, about right on the nose actually, about 18 centimeters high. And for a width on the base is a little bit under 15 inches, or about 12.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, you can see right there just how large this is compared to our common Papo T-Rex that we use for all of our reviews. You can see that he is quite small compared to the overall head sculpt and bust of this Ceratosaurus. and it should give you a pretty good idea of the sheer size of the Ceratosaurus bust, as it is really quite large and quite beautiful. So without question, this takes dinosaur collectibles to new heights, in my opinion, as far as PNSO goes, because this thing is, as I've mentioned numerous times already, just absolutely beautiful artwork at its finest. This Ceratosaurus' sculpt is just really, really nicely done, and probably one of the most accurate Ceratosaurus head sculpts that you'll ever find. PNSO really likes to keep up to date as far as anything dinosaur goes with their scientific accuracy, so this Ceratosaurus head bust is probably the ultimate as far as Ceratosaurus head busts go. And again, it doesn't have the actual coloration of the dinosaur, but this brass look really makes it look beautiful and striking and stand out, and in my opinion, helps to add to the art factor of the overall appearance of this dinosaur bookend bust. These things are super high quality, super nicely done, and really, really beautiful overall. So I highly, highly recommend these and pretty much anything PNSO releases, as they are an absolutely fantastic company when it comes to creating prehistoric creatures in model and now dinosaur bust form. So if you are interested in purchasing this or any of the other busts that I've shown you and mentioned, I will put links to each and every one of them in the description for any of you that are interested, because they are all fantastic and I highly, highly recommend them. I am incredibly excited to see anything else that PNSO will be releasing in the very near future. And on their Facebook page, actually, they just announced some mini dinosaurs that they are releasing, and I have a few of their older ones, but not too many. After taking a brief look over the new mini dinosaurs they just released, I am interested in buying those as well, so hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on some of them and review them on the channel for you as well. Either way, I recommend you guys head over to Amazon and buy some of these for yourself if you are interested, because they are fantastic. And please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.